I've got to get the hose hooked up to the rainwater tank, but there's like a wasp colony that has established residence on the PVC pipe, and I don't want to spray them with anything. Well, I don't have anything to spray them with, other than water.
This might be a really bad idea. Or really good.
You don't know where they are. Quietly turn the corner, Joe. I'm gonna come behind you with the water, but I just want you to see them. I want you to get that first feeling. Slowly turn around that corner and then look up.
Oh, those are wasps.
They're looking peevy. This morning, Joe and I are using a handful of tools to make breakfast. And when I say tools, it's really just the elements to purify the water. We've got the fire going. We'll be cooking breakfast out there in a few moments. But we're actually gonna unbox this generator from Anker. This is an Anker Solix C1000. It's gonna be the power source for the lights, the fan, the bug zapper. It is our modest power station to keep things humming today while we make breakfast. Most importantly, this is gonna power our water filter.
The way this is set up, all these tubes and different boxes and machinery, it looks kind of sketchy. Like if someone came out here and saw this, they'd be like, what are y'all making? Oh, this is just modern moonshine?
But we're gonna use this water filter that needs some juice to purify the water before we make coffee, drink the water. You never know what could be inside of the water from a rain capture system, so you always wanna purify. The reality is, you're not going to use power from a station like this, from lithium batteries, for any type of heating, cooling, other than fans, because heating and cooling takes so much power. You need a very large battery bank to run a small AC unit. It's totally possible, but we like to use energy from these small stations more so to power electronics, to power fans, to power lights, and water filters. So we've got a cable to where you can charge it from a 12-volt cigarette lighter in a car. We've got the regular wall charger, and then we've got just an extension cable set. This actually looks like it splits from their proprietary connector into two connectors. So I don't know what this does quite yet, but we'll figure that out. This bad boy might not have been pre-charged.
Will we have breakfast?
We will, Joe. Don't worry.
What about second breakfast?
11sies? Run this into the bigger solar system and charge this guy. Oh, wait, 86%. This is mostly charged.
Oh, thank goodness.
All right, let's get this bad boy back out there. We've got an 86% charge. That's what it came with out of the box. We can easily plug this guy up to either our solar panels or the wall outlet. And we could do either here at the off-grid cabin, because we've got a bigger solar panel system that could charge it directly, or we just plug in the adapter to the solar panels. The car socket, this is not where we charge it. This is 12-volt power that we could use. If we're charging it with the car socket, this goes in your car, this plug goes into the side right there. This is the inverter button for the 120-volt power. That's the inverter button for the car socket, I believe. Got this cool little light along the top. It's handy. Different brightness levels. Reset button. We've also got the USB-C and the USB for phone charging. I believe this is a battery extender. So this is about a 1 kilowatt hour system. We're gonna power up the string lights, even though we don't really need them because the sun is coming up. These are phenomenal early in the morning and late at night. This is the reverse osmosis purifier from Itehill. This is what's gonna clean the water before we make coffee and have breakfast. We have got a particulate tester to see how many dissolved solids are in the rainwater off the roof. Then we'll see how many solids are in the rainwater that's been purified with a reverse osmosis filter powered by the Anker Solix C1000. This is the reverse osmosis water purifier kit from Itehill. So this is the actual unit itself. Here we've got the USB-C charging port, we've got the reset buttons, and then we've got the on-off button. These are the reverse osmosis filters. This is the water intake valve with a pre-filter on it. So this will go in the water source that we're purifying. This connects to the unit. USB-C charger, and then this is the output. So it's gonna output drinking water out of one cable, and then it's gonna output water that we could use for washing hands or dishes in the other pipe. The reverse osmosis process gives us two streams of water, a pure stream and then a stream that's got the contaminants that we don't want. See the difference between the reverse osmosis purified water and the total dissolved solids?
Yeah, the right one is white and that one's clear.
So it makes me feel good about what we're drinking here. Looks like it's gonna need a charge. That's where the generator comes in.
One of my favorite features that the Anker Solix C1000 has is actually the fast charging feature they call Hyperflash. It can recharge the battery from 0% to 100% in just under an hour. This is about 30% faster than other power stations on the market with the same capacity. Our other Anker products charge very quickly, but that's a handy feature to have.
Now that we've got the generator charging up the reverse osmosis filter, we want to run a test to see how clean is the purified water at our homes. Joe and I don't live on site here at the Acorn Off-grid test site. We both have our own families and live off-site, but this is where we test a lot of these concepts and tools as we work up to building off-grid locations that we could live in. This is a TDS sensor, total dissolved solids. It tests for how many parts per million of elements other than water are in the water. So it's testing for dissolved particles that are not water, and it uses a small electrical current to do so. So this is a cheap little sensor we got online. It is not going to test for everything. Bacterial issues, virus issues, other contaminations. This is water that I purified at home. So we're gonna use this as our benchmark. I read online that water with ppm of 50 to 150 is ideal for drinking. All right, mug full of water. My TDS sensor, turn it on. Right now it says 0 ppm, 0 parts per million. Looks like it's holding steady at 59 ppm. At 59 ppm, this is absolutely in the ideal range. Now, let's test water from the rainwater collection system. I can already tell this guy is gonna get a good reading. I can see the parts per million in there. So we're at 0. Let's stick this puppy in here.
Did it actually stop working?
No, it didn't stop working. It's saying 8 parts per million. There's no way, not on the rainwater. There's probably more minerals in the water that's being purified at home. Turns out our sensor's not broken at all. It works great. Rainwater naturally has low ppm of total dissolved solids because it's been distilled in the atmosphere. So our rainwater here is 8 ppm. That's very, very low. I read online that filtered rainwater can often have 30 ppm. Our rainwater straight off the roof is 8 ppm, TDS, total dissolved solids. I like these acronyms. So my tap water has 59 parts per million total dissolved solids. The rainwater had 8 particles per million total dissolved solids. That means we've got very clean tap water and very clean rainwater. So Joe, turns out this is great news.
There's still bacteria and virus stuff possibly in our rainwater.
Right, because like what if a bird pooped up there? Water intake. This is going into the rainwater jug that we filled. Drinking water going into our kettle. Then we've got the water that is not potable. We're just going to run this off the table onto the ground. Cutting up a few veggies to make alongside our eggs over the fire as the water purifier cycles. Once we get that water, we'll fill up the kettle and then get breakfast going once and for all.
It's hot.
I'm gonna go put this on the fire and then I'll come back to that test. We're gonna run another TDS check, total dissolved solids, on the finally purified water using the reverse osmosis system and the Anker Solix C1000. We went from 8 parts per million to 3 parts per million. So the reverse osmosis filter made a substantial difference. Only powered by USB-C from the Anker Solix C1000. Lost a few peppers. You know what? This is super hot. I need a log. There we go.
How many times can you say, I need a log, and there's just a log right there? Only when you're off grid.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny, right?
Great. Farm fresh eggs, veggies.
From the store?
Yeah.
All right.
We did it.
Let's try this.
So, thank you, Itehill. You worked great, but you couldn't have done it without the Anker Solix C1000. You're starting without me. All right, so we did it. Breakfast, coffee, purified water. This water has 3 parts per million total dissolved solids. Very clean, and it was boiled, so if there were any pathogens, they're gone. That's the technical term. Gone. Oh, thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers, Joe.